What's going on, guys? In today's video we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the new Oculus Quest, and I want to go ahead and share with you guys the experience. So we're gonna go through the entire setup process together and also talk about some tips and some pointers for glasses users. And we'll talk about more into detail on what storage capacity is best suited for you. Me, I just settled with 64 gig, but we'll go more into detail on what capacity is right for you after we go through the whole entire setup process and download a few games to see how much storage my 64 gig remains. So we're gonna go ahead and go over all that. So let's go ahead and get started. So on the front of the box, here we have the design of the Oculus Quest, and we flip it on the back. We have a preview of all the new available games for the system. On top of the box is where you see your storage capacity, and underneath here it will also tell you everything that comes included inside this package. And if John Wick is lethal with a pencil, well, I'm lethal with a simple fork. So let's go ahead and take the sharp edge on the fork to unwrap the seal. If you did the same method, comment down below, let me know, because you are savage. Now that's off, sliding the package off the box. Another box cover we have to slide off. And here's our headset. So the texture of the Oculus Quest has a nice cloth-like texture. It's only the front headpiece right here next to the cameras that's actually made out of plastic. The typical plastic you usually find on regular electronics. Moving the headset to the side, we have this box, which inside this box is where we see the USB-C cable and charger, which looks to be a standard USB-C charger because this thing only has an output up to 3 amps. Next here is our glasses spacer, which we'll go more into detail in a little bit. And then we have our very long and very premium feeling USB-C cable. Behind here we got the batteries for the controllers, which is 2 AAA batteries, 1 for each controller. And left inside this box is the reference guide. Putting all that back aside, let's take a look at the headset. So besides that front shell, everything is made out of the same cloth-like texture and has Velcro straps on the side of the bands where they attach. So all 3 of these are fully adjustable. The Velcro isn't your typical Velcro. This one looks to be much more finer and premium. And the headset itself is respectfully light. We'll weigh it on a scale in a little bit. Now left in the box is our 2 controllers. That also has a soft texture, similar to like what you find on a typical gaming controller. They're really light and there's no moving parts when you're shaking it. That makes like an internal rattle noise. So this headset has something that Oculus is calling inside-out tracking, which utilizes these 4 very wide-angle lens, I would imagine, exterior cameras, which by the way doesn't work in a dark environment. There has to be some light in order for the camera to pick up the controllers. So what makes the Quest much better compared to your typical gaming VR headset, this thing is 100% wired free, which means there's no computer required to power up this headset, and there's no need for external sensors. Everything is built in, it's an all-in-one unit, and it's powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 mobile processor. With 4 GB of RAM, with an average battery life, many users are reporting between 2 or 3 hours, which is more than enough juice for any gaming session. And if you do want to play longer than 2 or 3 hours, you can actually plug this in directly to either a wall outlet. That USB-C cable that they provide is long enough to power the unit to a wall outlet while you continue gaming, or you can actually have this cable plugged in directly to a portable power bank. And if you compare this to another somewhat more affordable VR headset, like a PSVR for instance, the resolution that this Quest can give out per eye is much higher than the PSVR. For instance, the Quest will give you a resolution up to 1440 by 1600 per eye, while the PSVR, its resolution is only 960 by 1080p. Both do use an OLED display, but I noticed the picture quality is more clear on the Quest than it is on the PSVR. The PSVR has that awful screen door effect, but the PSVR does support the highest refresh rate, and that thing could go up to 120 to 90 Hz. The Oculus Quest is locked down at 72 Hz, which if you were to ask me, I really don't notice a difference. The refresh rate on both are perfectly fine. And the Quest has a higher field of view up to 115, while the PSVR is still stuck on 100. Then when it comes to comfort, weighing the controllers, the Oculus Quest controllers with the batteries inserted, it's only 251 grams, while the PSVR controllers are less accurate and a little bit bulkier, and they weigh slightly more at 285 grams. And although I have seen many reviewers saying that the headset is somewhat top heavy, when weighing the two headset, it's clear that the Oculus Quest is the lightest, as it is indeed 100 grams lighter compared to the PSVR headset. I'll do a more full in-depth comparison in a future video. So if you're looking forward for this comparison, comment down below, let me know. So this headset only has one USB port, a USB-C port right here on the side, and you have one audio jack right here. And then on the other side is where you see your power/reset button, as well as the LED indicator. And underneath that is the other audio jack port. And yes, any standard headphone will fit and connect to either one just fine for stereo hearing. It just has two ports because Oculus is going to release a left and right side earbud accessory for the Quest in the near future. Then underneath the headset is the slider for our PD distance adjuster. And in our other side, we have our volume controls. You don't need to connect a headset to the Oculus because on the hinges right here, there actually is forward, ear-facing speakers. And I think they have the same technology of what Bose does on those sound sunglasses. And if I were to quickly review them, I gotta say they sound quite impressive. Not super incredible. I would compare these to like the same speaker sound quality as you expect to find on a new generation MacBook. So they're like laptop quality loud, which is respectfully good. Then moving on to the controller aspect of things, the controller, all the buttons are easy to access, really responsive. And these are the new touch controllers with the rings now facing upwards. The controllers are labeled left and right, but just unpeel these because as soon as you put on the headset, they're going to be labeled right there in virtual reality. The USB-C connector is an L shape, so it makes charging the headset really easy. So before starting the headset, it is required to install the third-party application, either on Apple App Store or on the Google Play Store. And for this video, since my iOS device is on a beta, I don't want it to cause any issues, so I'm going to be using my Google Pixel phone, which the setup process should be exactly the same. So once the Oculus Quest app is now downloaded, let's go ahead and open it up, select the Oculus Quest, and then we are presented with this cool animation. The tutorial is basically telling us to plug it into power first before we get started. So plug it in, but before we continue, let the headset charge because we're going to go ahead and install the glasses spacer. Now would be a good time to install it because it's going to later on request us to actually put on the headset, and this will help prevent an accident from happening in case you accidentally scratch it up with your glasses. If you don't wear glasses, you can simply just skip this part. So this foam piece is really easy to take off, simply just work your way around the edges. Once removed, let's grab our spacer and just line it up to the cushion that we just took off. So Oculus has made a remark saying that the glasses compatible with the Quest with this spacer must be within 142mm of length and 50mm tall. And if you own glasses that have a metal like structure frame like titanium or aluminum, I wouldn't really recommend using these because those will have a higher chance of scratching the lens than if you have plastic frames. So that's just a word of advice. So the protective lens cover clearly specifies that do not expose the lens to any sunlight whatsoever because I hear that the OLED displays can get easily damaged. And then on the other cover tells us not to use any liquid cleaner, so no rubbing alcohol or water with soap of any kind. A microfiber cloth is all you really need. So with that said and done, simply just replace the cushion with the spacer back on exactly like how you took it off. There's no need to apply a lot of pressure to place it back together. Everything will simply just snap on as you make your way around the cushion. Now I'm not sure what material this is, but I mean like it feels really soft. And its texture is good because it's very breathable, I would imagine. Now with our spacer and that other piece inserted to the headset, let's follow the instruction, and it's telling us to hold the power button for a good 2 seconds until the LED turns white to set it to pair mode. Our phone will now display us to let us know there's a code inside, so you have to put on the headset, get that code, and enter it on your device. Enter that code and allow it to pair. Once it's done, the headset will then ask for your Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi password to connect. Then once connected, it will then instruct you to insert the 2 AAA batteries, one for each controller. Which, by the way, the battery covers is actually held together magnetically. Once you do that, simply just tap connect and continue. It's going to ask you then to select your language, and you're going to have to watch a safety video. find it so weird that they use this goth looking girl to be a part of this intro. Is it me or this girl just doesn't look the part? Like this outfit doesn't look joyful and cheerful compared to this other lady. But when you do that, simply just continue, and now the headset's going to be updating with the latest firmware. This may take up to 10 minutes, so just let it be and explore the Oculus Quest gaming store that they have. So my essential free apps are YouTube VR, definitely download this, Netflix, Bait, Oculus First Contact, Rec Room, Big Screen, VR Chat. Literally just download all the free ones. Just literally while the headset is updating, go ahead and explore the available games to download and download all the free ones to try everything out if this is your first time getting into VR. So once the update is done, this is how you first put on your headset. So when placing the headset on for the first time, you could just simply just loosen up the straps on the Velcro on the side. Lift this headset up like so. And a quick and clean method to not to prevent the lens from getting any fingerprints is insert your glasses, put them on like on a distance, an adjustment that you're comfortable with, like you typically wear your glasses at daily, and then place the headset on like so, adjust it like that, because this piece has to be down below your head, and simply take the sides and tighten them to your comfort. Take this upper piece, adjust it to your comfort, and that's how you put on the VR headset if you wear glasses. This way you don't have to go in, reach in to adjust them. This way, since you had them on comfortably, they're not going to touch the lens, and there's no need to readjust them. And then to take them off, simply, as soon as you already tightened down all the Velcro, pull forward and then raise up, and then the headset would just come off like so. So when you put on the headset for the first time, you're going to be going through the entire setup process. This procedure is really easy and straightforward. There'll be a visual clip to help you adjust the PD distance to give you the most clearest image possible. Then you'll be asked to create a guardian boundary. You'll be first be asked to use your controller to tap the floor, and then using the controller, when you hit continue, outline the floor surface so you don't bump into a wall or anything. Once you have this grid up, you'll notice if you step outside the grid, the cameras will turn on for you to see, and hopefully don't crash into a wall or something. But once you do that, that's basically it. You will find yourself being welcomed by Oculus by going through a quick demo tutorial about the basic mechanics of the entire VR experience. By interacting with your controller, objects, in virtual reality, shooting games, even dancing with a robot for some reason. So with the entire setup complete, we are left with 46 gigabytes of storage from software updates and all those free applications that we installed. And the storage capacity for like something like Beat Saber, even other big titles like Vader Immortal, they just take away like 1 or 2 gigs. So 64 gigs looks to be plenty enough storage for all the basic games. But if you plan on downloading like media files like video, music, or doing a lot of screen recording, then yes, I think the 128 gigabytes might be best suited for you. But there you guys have it. Just wanted to make a quick video overview of the entire setup process, go over some tricks, and finally show you guys the end results of how much storage capacity we have left after doing all those install updates, patches, and installing quite a few games. So if this video was able to help you out, be sure to leave this video a like, and why not hit that subscribe button, as I pretty much cover anything tech related. I would just enjoy sharing it all with you guys. So to be updated on all the latest tech, make sure to hit that subscribe button. But once again, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!